Oh, hello YouTube. Today on the Naughty Librarian, I'm going over my June TBR list. I have so many random things on this list, honestly. Like, I'm looking at my stack right now. It's just, like, a lot. But I always feel good about that. Like, I want to mix up my reading and have, like, so many different genres all in the one thing. So, it's chaos, but, like, fun chaos. Yeah, let's just get into what I'm reading. Let's just let the chaos come. First things first, I have How to Find a Princess by Alyssa Cole. This is a pre-order. It came in. I can't wait to read it. I'm gonna read it right now. This is an FF romance, and it involves, like, lost princesses and sexy detectives. Like, already I'm obsessed. And so there's this woman, Makeda. She is just living her life. She's a very modern woman, and she has this, like, story from her grandmother about how one summer she hooked up with a prince, and it was like, okay, whatever, grandma. Turns out it's true, and now she's like this missing princess of this country. Besnaria is a sexy detective who works for, like, the Federation of Royalty or something. It's whatever, it's made up. And she's on the hunt for this runaway princess, so she has to go find her, and then she does, and she has to take her back to that country, and they have hijinks along the way, and probably sexy times. So I am obsessed. I so want to read this. It's got sexy detectives and lost princesses. Like, tell me no more. I already want it. I am also going to be reading Her Wicked Marquess by Stacey Reed. This was sent to me by the publisher like a few months ago, and I haven't read it yet. So I'm going to read it. I just want something like fun historical romance. So we have this woman, her name's Marianne. She's very bookish. No one really wants to marry her. So her parents are like, you need to go get married because we're tired of this. So, like, you're gonna marry that guy. I don't care, he's 3 times your age, you're marrying him. And Marianne is like, no thank you. So she's like, I gotta get myself out of this because I'm smart and I'm bookish, I'm gonna figure it out. And then, you know, like the scandal sheets, they reported that this guy Nicholas, he's a Marquess, he was seen leaving the window of a certain lady after a house party. And so Marianne's kind of like, it was my window. Like, just announces that to, like, give her a scandal, and hopefully, like, it'll get rid of this whole marriage problem. And then for some reason, I think he has reasons of his own, Nicholas is like, sure, it was our window. So they're kind of, you know, put together in this scandal, and, like, I don't know, I love stories like that though, when they're both, like, have a scandal going and they have to keep it going. So it's kind of like related to the fake dating trope, and I'm obsessed. So I just really want to read this. I'm so excited. Also on deck, I have Lord of Scoundrels by Loretta Chase. This was recommended to me several times, a lot in my comments from my subscribers, and I decided, you know what? June's the month. I'm gonna read this finally. So this one is Sebastian and Jessica. Sebastian, another rakish Marquess. I feel like there's a theme here. And that's what he does. He basically is made like being a rake into, like, a profession. Like, this is what he does best, la la la. Enter Jessica. She's like, hey, you've been hanging out with my brother, and you're a bad influence, and I'm not fucking having it. And then, like, they are enemies, probably to lovers, I'm assuming, but I always get this recommended to me in my comments, so I want to do it. This is just like Naughty Marquess month, apparently. I am also going to be reading The Black Tongue Thief by Christopher Buehlman. I am just obsessed with this cover, frankly. I pre-ordered it because of the font. I know what, that's so strange, but the font is the same font they use for the re-releases of the First Law trilogy. So when I saw that, I was like, I feel like there's a connection. And it's also a grim dark fantasy, and I was like, I'm buying this, and I don't know if I'm gonna like it because it's a debut, but, like, whatever, I pre-ordered it anyway. So this one is about Kinch. He's a thief, he owes a lot of money to people, and then he's like, okay, I gotta get out of this trouble, I'm just gonna rob whoever comes across my path next. Except the person who crosses his path next is Galva. Galva is not one to be fucked with. She is a knight, she is a handmaiden to the goddess of death, and she is looking for her lost queen. Like, she is not a person you try to rob. So obviously, that encounter does not end well for Kinch. So, I guess they go on their separate ways, but, like, their ways keep crossing paths. So, like, they're on the same goal, mission, something, but, like, I just really like badass female knight and then just a rascally thief guy. Like, I like the combo, and I like the book cover. Like, cover is so cool. Like, it's a cover buy, I know, but like, I really genuinely think I'm gonna like it. I'm also going to read The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. What, I'm doing another episode of Drunk Classics already? Why, yes I am. I know the videos don't do that well, but I have so much fun making them, I'm just going to keep making them. So I am doing Picture of Dorian Gray this month, mainly just because like I want a little Oscar Wilde in my life. He's such like a fun dandy that I want to read this. Like, it's just basically about Dorian Gray. He has a magic picture where the picture ages instead of him, but if he looks at the picture, it's gonna reverse. So like, I'm really into that right now. I just want to like be living the fantasy of this foppish young like rich guy who's just being vain and like very Oscar Wilde-y. So I'm just in the mood for it, and I'm gonna be very drunk in reading this, and I feel like being drunk is a perfect state of being to enjoy this book, so like I am excited. Also on deck, I have Deal with the Devil by Kit Roca, and this is the book of the month for the Blaze and Bodice Reverse Book Club. The live show is going to be on my channel the last Saturday of the month, which I believe is June 26th at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Please come to our live show and hang out. It's going to be super fun. I am really, really excited to read this one. It is it's urban fantasy, and it has mercenary librarians. Like, tell me no more, I already want to read this desperately. I'm just gonna read you the top bit because this is how they describe the book. This is Orphan Black meets post-apocalyptic Avengers. Everything about it just makes me more excited. So this is like about Nina. She's an information broker, she's a mercenary librarian, she's on a mission to do stuff. She crosses paths with this guy Knox. He is a super soldier who has gone AWOL with his little like group of other super soldiers because they did some bad stuff. And so, hey, they both think each other are hot, they're probably gonna do it, but also like, what should they do? Like, they're not on the same page for things, but they want to do it. Are they gonna team up? Probably, who knows, but I am excited. Mercenary librarians, what's not to want? I am also going to be reading We Could Be Heroes by Mike Chen. And this book, like, honestly, I hadn't heard about it until I saw it on Book of the Month, and I was like, I'm gonna give this a shot. So we're following Jamie and Zoe. These are two people they meet in a memory loss support group because apparently, I guess, many people experienced this thing where they had full memory loss, but now they have superpowers. Or maybe it's just Zoe and Jamie. I'm not exactly sure on that. But like Jamie, he lost all his memories, but now he has the ability to read people's memories and erase them. So that's new. And then you have Zoe, who lost her memory and now is able to be like super strong and super fast. So, you know, she of course just basically uses that as her food delivery job to make it really good. And also, you know, sometimes she'll beat up bad guys. She's doing her thing. I actually was really intrigued by the whole concept, how it's like real life superheroes. And like most of the time, like people with superpowers, they're not gonna do good stuff with it. Like Jamie just uses it to rob banks and buy cat food. Like he's doing nothing good with his superpowers. And then, you know, you have Zoe, who's mainly using it just to deliver pizzas or whatever. So I just thought it was like a really interesting take on like the superhero genre. So I am intrigued. I love the concept here. I'm excited to read it and see if I like it. Another book I hadn't heard of until Book of the Month was Arsenic and Adobo by Mia P. Manansala, and oh boy, this sounds fun. We're following Lila. She is a woman. She comes back to help her auntie's restaurant. She's a chef, so she's trying to save this restaurant. And in comes his food critic, who's really tough, except it's her ex-boyfriend. So he comes, he eats the food, just drops dead right after. And everyone's like, oh no. So they call the police. You know, there's a dead guy here. But everyone thinks it's Lila, because you're like, okay, ex-girlfriend, and then you fed him food, like, it's poisoned, right? And the thing is, she didn't poison it, but someone must have, so she has to like solve this big murder mystery. So it's got Filipino food, it's got murder, it's got mystery, and I feel like the main character is gonna be very likable, so I'm like so into this so much. I just want to read it. It's a food-related murder mystery, yes. I'm also going to read Persephone Station by Stina Leaked. And this one, I mean, let's be real. This cover, oh my gosh, this cover is gorgeous and I'm obsessed. It's like a space western, so it's a little bit Star Wars-y. I guess that could be a space western as well. So, I don't know, it gives me Mandalorian vibes, honestly. We have this woman named Rosie. She owns like the cantina on this, you know, this little planet, that backwards planet called Persephone Station. She owns the cantina. You know, seedy types hang out there, and then like this corporation shows up and they're doing things and none of it's gonna be good. So she's like, hey Angel, and he's like an ex-Marine or something. She's like, hey, you should figure out what they're doing. And then he does, and then shit gets crazy, and I think they have to like battle this like corporation. I don't know, it's a space western that gives me Mandalorian vibes, and the cover's pretty. Like, tell me no more, and I already want to read this. So I mean, this is a total cover buy, but like I'm really hoping it's good, because if it's bad and this cover is this pretty, like I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. Last but not least, I am going to be reading The House of Always by Jen Lyons. This is the latest release of the Chorus of Dragons series, and like I love this series. It's so complex and there's like a lot going on, and it's strange, you know, sometimes my brain has a habit of wandering too much to like get into really complex things, but this is so complex but so, I don't know, the writing style is just so intensely readable that I don't mind. Like, I don't care there's actually an encyclopedia in the back of this book. Like, that's how complicated it is. But like I was saying, this is book 4 of this series, so a lot has happened to this point. The most basic description I can give is there's this group of people, and they're trying to save the world from demons. Like, there's so much more going on, but that's like the basic idea of the book series, like what the main goal is here. This came out just really recently, and I'm already gonna be reading it because I just finished book 3, and like, oh boy, like the end of book 3, like the shit just hit the fan. So I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen? Like, I'm just like desperate to know. And then we have to wait a year for book 5, and I just like the thought of that makes me physically like ill to think about, but whatever. I'm gonna read book 4. Alright, so that's what's on deck for June. I am pretty excited, obviously. I'm always excited to read books, but I feel like I got a really good mix of things that, like, I'm into it. It's a lot of different genres here. Like, we all just went through this together. Let me know in a comment down below. What's a book that you picked up mainly because so many people had kept recommending it to you? Like, for me, it's Lord of Scoundrels. I keep getting recommended this book. I need to read it. Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like. And if you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye!